Lately, I've been wondering, am I the problem? I mean, if I'm the problem, am I the solution too? Wait, what even is the problem? I would love to reminisce about being a kid and having no insecurities or not caring. But growing up, I was shy and introverted. I don't remember a time when I didn't feel self-conscious or doubtful in some way. And despite not just addressing, but transforming a lot of the insecurities I used to struggle with, I still carry around a major wound, one that has dictated a lot of my life choices. You see, my biggest wound has always been around self-expression. More specifically, communication, and how my words are being received. So I spent most of my 20s creating memories, exploring, and learning about myself. But it wasn't until recently that I realized something. I was still hiding behind my fear of being misunderstood. And it just seemed like the people I looked up to who were doing what I wanted to do had figured out something that I hadn't. And it turns out, I'm not alone in feeling that way. Let's be real, we're all insecure, often about things that other people might never guess. And in the same way we all have insecurities, we also all crave fulfillment. That's why we can hit certain milestones and achieve goals and do everything that looks good from an outside perspective and that should feel good for us and still feel empty inside. You can't make choices from insecurities and expect fulfillment. My point is, insecurities are not an issue. The way we let them hold us back is. Making decisions from our insecurities gives us a sense of safety. We're still playing within the confines of our comfort zone, but that comes at a price. A life that lacks real fulfillment. Whenever I'm really deep in self-doubt, I like to think of all the painters, musicians, poets, directors, writers, chefs, all whose work have inspired and guided people for generations. How grateful I am that they didn't hold back. Imagine how lackluster life would be if they had just hidden behind their insecurities. If you take anything from this video, I hope it's the understanding that obsessing over fully letting go of insecurities is unrealistic. To live a life controlled by them is a complete disservice to ourselves. And it's in the balance between accepting our insecurities but doing it anyway and taking those chances that we become the authors of our own stories. I was about to upload the video because it's been done for a few days and I realized that I wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about the big takeaway, or I guess we can say the lessons that were presented to me through making this video. I've had some time to reflect on it and I have a few things I want to share. And to be honest, I was not expecting this video to feel like such a breakthrough for me, or even to be so eye-opening, but it was. And I think it's because this video made me realize that I need to stop dismissing myself. And this is what I'm asking of you as well. To please, I'm begging you to stop dismissing yourself and your dreams and your hopes and your goals. And I know that a lot of us, we don't do that consciously. But the more we allow our insecurities to make choices for us, the more we are putting ourselves in this corner, in this tiny little cage, and calling it safety, calling it our comfort zone. And I'm in no way invalidating the fact that insecurities are very real, our fears are very real, they're valid. Whatever it is that created those fears, however those insecurities came about, I know that for a lot of us, as just real life experiences and events, that's all true and normal. But what I am saying is that the only way to conquer that and to overcome it is by taking action. And I know you've heard that probably a million times. I know I have. And it's like, yeah, duh, obviously you take action. But you're allowed to go at your own pace, and you're allowed to honor where you are in your own process. But the sooner you do it, the sooner you be able to see that that monster we create within ourselves, called insecurities, is actually not that scary. And the actions taken don't need to be this big thing. It doesn't have to be an overnight shift that happens. It can be the smallest of steps, as long as it's propelling you forward. And this video showed me that, of course, my insecurities are gonna probably stay with me, and they're going to transform. Maybe they will take other forms, but I am 1% less terrified of doing this than I was before I did it. And I'm not saying that this video took away my insecurities, not at all. I'm still really scared of sitting here and sharing this, but 1% less feels like a huge victory. And the more we stack these little victories, this 1%, will eventually expand our comfort zone. And what was once so scary won't be that overpowering anymore. Realizing that the right time was whenever you decide to start is really freeing, but it can also bring a lot of frustration towards yourself. At least I know it has for me, because it's taken me over 6 years to do this. And now that I am finally here, I'm like, wow, be so for real. You could have done this. It's not that scary. I mean, it is, but you're not dying from it, right? Nothing bad is going to happen. In fact, probably only good things. So the right time is whenever you start, and then you take that next step, and the next one, and the next, and you build that momentum, because that momentum is going to bring clarity to you that it is actually a lot scarier to not try, to not go after your dreams, to not seek that fulfillment, than it is any insecurity that you have. And that's where I'm at right now in my process, bouncing back and forth between being a bit frustrated with myself, but also feeling really proud, and just realizing that as long as I am doing something every day that pushes me forward and pushes me out of my comfort zone, then I'm doing okay. And I am going to stop rambling. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you watching this far, and I promise to get better at this and not be so all over the place with my thoughts. It's really hard for me. But until then, take care, take action, and I'll see you on the next one.